If you are an Australian retiree, or you are getting close to retirement, there is a date circled in red on the calendar this September, and if you miss it, it could cost you thousands of dollars from your superannuation or leave you exposed to a tax bill you never saw coming. Right now, hundreds of thousands of retirees have no idea this deadline even exists. Superannuation rules in Australia have changed more in the last 18 months than at any point in the last decade, and September 2026 is shaping up to be one of the most important months for anyone relying on their super to fund their retirement. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because what you are about to hear could genuinely protect your nest egg. Welcome back to Aussie Benefit, the channel where we break down superannuation, retirement planning, and government benefits into simple, practical information every Australian can use. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we publish new videos every single week covering the changes that affect your retirement income, your pension, and your super balance. And if you find this video helpful, do us a favor and smash that like button. It genuinely helps more retirees find this channel and get the information they need. Now, before we go further, I want to be upfront. This video is general information only. It is not personal financial advice, and your situation is unique, so always check the official details on the ATO website or speak with a licensed financial advisor before making any decisions. With that said, let's get into why September 2026 matters so much for Australian retirees. Over the past year, the superannuation system in Australia has gone through a wave of reforms, and several of them come to a head around the middle of 2026. The first big one is the new tax treatment for large superannuation balances. From the 1st of July 2026, total super balances above $3 million face a higher tax rate on realized earnings, and this threshold is now indexed, meaning it will move over time rather than staying fixed. For retirees who are close to that threshold, decisions made in the lead up to this date, including whether to reset the cost base on fund assets, needed to be finalized through official ATO processes, and the paperwork and elections tied to this have strict windows that extend into the new financial year. Missing these windows can mean losing access to concessions that will not come back around. The second major shift is Payday Super, which officially started on the 1st of July 2026. Under this system, employers are required to pay superannuation contributions at the same time as wages, rather than once a quarter. For anyone who is semi-retired, still working part-time, or receiving the last of their employer contributions before fully leaving the workforce, this changes how and when your super actually lands in your account. Employers have limited business days after each payday to get contributions into your fund, and by September 2026, the first real test of this new system will be underway, with penalties and exceptional circumstance determinations already being issued by the tax office for employers who fall behind. If you are still receiving employer contributions, it is worth checking your super statements closely around this time to confirm your payments are landing correctly. The third area retirees need to watch is the transfer balance cap, which determines how much money you can move from your accumulation account into a tax-free retirement pension account. For the 2026 to 2027 financial year, this cap sits at $2.1 million per person. If your super balance has grown significantly, whether through strong investment returns or consolidating accounts, you need to know your personal transfer balance cap, which you can check through your MyGov account linked to the ATO. Exceeding this cap can trigger excess transfer balance tax, and correcting it after the fact is far more painful than checking your numbers now. Retirees who have not reviewed their transfer balance account in the last 12 months are exactly the people who tend to get caught out by this. There is also the ongoing conversation around the preservation age and access to super at 60, which continues to be reviewed by policymakers, along with contribution caps that reset every financial year. The non-concessional contributions cap, for example, drops to zero once your total super balance passes $2.1 million, which catches out retirees who assume they can keep topping up their super the same way they always have. And for those managing a self-managed super fund, income tax returns and opt-in elections tied to the new tax rules have specific lodgement deadlines that fall in this window, and missing a lodgement date can mean losing eligibility for concessions that were specifically designed to protect long-term investors from an unfair tax hit. So what should you actually do with all of this information? Start by logging into your MyGov account and checking your current total superannuation balance and your personal transfer balance cap. Next, if you work with an accountant or financial advisor, book a call with them before the end of September because the strategies available to manage these changes shrink the closer you get to the deadline. If you are self-managing your super fund, confirm with your accountant whether your fund needs to lodge any elections around the cost-base reset, and make sure your paperwork is in before the cutoff. And if you are still working in any capacity, check your recent payslips against your super fund statements to confirm your employer is keeping up with the new payday super requirements. None of these steps take more than an afternoon, but skipping them could cost you far more than an afternoon's worth of time and money down the track. The bottom line is this: superannuation in Australia is not something you set and forget anymore, especially not through 2026. The rules are shifting, the thresholds are moving, and the government is watching contributions and balances more closely than ever before through single-touch payroll and fund reporting. September 2026 is not the end of these changes, but it is a genuine checkpoint, a moment where the paperwork, the elections, and the compliance windows for several major reforms all line up at once. Retirees who take an hour this month to check their balance, their transfer cap, and their contribution settings will be in a far stronger position than those who wait until the tax office sends them a letter. That wraps up everything you need to know about the September 2026 superannuation deadline. If this video helped clear things up, please hit that like button. It really does make a difference for this channel. And if you have not already, subscribe to Aussie Benefit so you do not miss the next video, because we will be covering more of these superannuation and retirement changes as they unfold throughout the year. Drop a comment below and let us know your biggest question about your super balance or your retirement plan. We read every single comment, and it helps us shape future videos around what you actually want to know. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of your retirement, and I will see you in the next one.